3 purses were found sitting together on the floor, containing driver's licenses, keys, and nearly $900 in cash. A Yorkshire Terrier named Cinnamon was left alone inside the house. Nearby, a set of clothes from the previous night was discovered neatly folded. In the bedroom, the lights were off, but a television glows with a wall of static, suggesting an occupant was interrupted in the middle of a mundane evening routine. These were the belongings of 47-year-old Sherrill Levitt, her 19-year-old daughter Suzie Streeter, and 18-year-old Stacy McCall. All 3 vanished from this home on Delmar Street in Springfield, Missouri, sometime in the early morning hours of June 7, 1992. Investigators did not find evidence of a struggle or a break-in. Decades later, the case remains one of America's most prominent unsolved disappearances, but not because a perpetrator left no clues behind. The investigation faced structural challenges before the first detective arrived. Before the police were ever called, well-meaning friends and family had entered the home and inadvertently altered the environment. June 6th was a day defined by public celebration. Suzie and Stacy had just graduated from high school, an event documented by hundreds of witnesses, family photos, and school records. After the graduation parties, their path is traceable until 2 a.m. when they arrived at Delmar Street to sleep. By 9 a.m., friends found the house empty. Within those 7 hours, an unknown person removed 3 women without a trace. Because the timeline was so tight and there were no reports of a struggle, any microscopic evidence left behind, hair, fibers, or footprints, represented the only physical link to what happened inside the house. At 9 a.m. on Sunday, friends arrived at the home to pick up Suzie and Stacy for a planned trip to a water park. Finding the house empty and the door unlocked, they began to investigate the premises themselves. Outside, one friend noticed the glass globe on the porch light had been shattered. To prevent his barefoot girlfriend from stepping on the shards, he swept the broken glass off the concrete. In doing so, he removed the physical traces of whatever had broken the light, potentially destroying fingerprints or DNA at the primary point of entry. Throughout the day, between 10 and 20 worried friends and relatives entered the house. While they waited for news, they paced the rooms and began tidying up the residence. They cleaned used coffee cups, they emptied the ashtrays, and used the bathroom. Each of these actions removed footprints and trace evidence that would have provided a forensic map of the women's final moments in the home. The final loss of information occurred when Stacy's mother checked the answering machine, listening to a sexually explicit message from an unidentified caller. Due to analog design, playing it once effectively deleted it. The audio clue was permanently lost. By the time police secured the house, the scene had been disturbed by dozens of people. This lack of a forensic starting point meant investigators had no physical evidence to either confirm or disprove the statements of potential suspects, such as Robert Craig Cox, a local convict who later claimed to have knowledge of the women's fate. A case without a solid forensic foundation often leaves a void that is filled by public speculation and unverified tips. In the Springfield 3 case, a persistent rumor claimed the women were buried under the foundations of the south parking garage at Cox Hospital. Chronological records disprove this theory. Construction on that parking garage did not begin until September 1993, more than a year after the 3 women went missing. Despite this physical impossibility, public interest in the site forced police to address the lead. This diverted resources toward investigating a local myth rather than focusing on viable leads. The Springfield 3 remains an active cold case. It serves as a reminder of how the dark actions of a perpetrator can be compounded by the urgency of loved ones who, in their haste to help, inadvertently removed the physical traces that were meant to lead to the truth.